Bob and Bobby, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you on the show today. Bobby, I'll start with you. This is being touted as the next NFL compared to the Premier League of the future. What's your vision for this? Is that for real?
Yeah, that's our vision for how we're going to celebrate and reward our players, is build a league that is like the NFL, only global. And it's going to take some time, but what will make it really easy is having great partners like Robert Kraft.
So, Bob, do you think that this can become that with salary caps, trades, and all the other stuff that goes along?
Well, we love the infrastructure that Bobby has set up at Activision Blizzard, and we've looked at a lot in the Overwatch League to us with, having 30 million players at this point, and just in its evolution, really appeals to us. And the concept of having a team in the New England region, we know we have an infrastructure that we can really do a great job with the development of that. And being part of something that can be globalized is very, very relevant to us.
I want to talk a little bit about the finances here. Bobby, how long do you think it will take before the Overwatch League can compete with those leagues financially?
Well, look, it's important to us. We have a 26-year history of providing superior returns to our owners. And so we look at owners like Robert Kraft as an important constituent that we need to do our very best to provide a superior financial return as quickly as we can.
Now, Bob, the franchise fee is $20 million over time. How much will it cost to operate a team in addition to that?
We haven't really gotten into the details of the operating costs, but when you look at the way we've structured the league, the operating costs should be a lot lower than what you'd see in other traditional sports.
Okay, so let's talk about the future of esports. I mean, esports on television still hasn't been a great success. Bob, why do you think it can get there?
That's directed to me?
Yes.
We're looking at what's going on with sports generally and watching the millennials and the Z generation, how they consume product on their mobile devices, but also how they don't watch traditional sports products the way our generations did. And you see how much time is invested in playing these games and how they can connect with a global audience while doing it. It's just unheard of to us 10, 15 years ago. And we really believe this is the future. We think the infrastructure that Bobby has set up was something that the investment that he made in this league, it's something that was very appealing to us and a great way for us to enter this business. We looked at a lot of alternatives, and we felt this was the best way to do it.
So, Bobby, how much will players make? Can you give us an idea of that?
Look, I think the whole purpose for creating the Overwatch League was in the service of celebrating our players and the commitment that our players make to this game in what's now 196 countries around the world. And so there isn't any good reason that a professional Overwatch player shouldn't be rewarded and recognized like professional athletes. And our hope is that that's what will happen, and it will happen as quickly as possible.
And what do you see as the biggest source of revenue of the future? Will it be TV rights, tickets, or sponsorships?
Well, all of those will be the revenues, but the great opportunity for us is being able to partner with these incredibly successful owners and the young entrepreneurs who have built a lot of the endemic teams, who are really these high potential entrepreneurs that seized on esports as a great opportunity. And so the combination of the professional experience like we get with Robert Kraft and the great capabilities we see in some of our endemic owners, that should allow us to generate revenues in the broadcast rights, in sponsorships, in licensing, in venue fees. And a big part of what we're trying to do in building a local-based league is build the local affinity that you see in traditional sports, so that the Boston enthusiasts, the Boston players of Overwatch, will have a place to go, will have heroes they can celebrate, will have role models that come from the professional athletes that are going to play our games. And so that's a really important part of what we're doing.
So, Robert Kraft, as we understand it, Activision is going to keep a percentage of future sales. Talk to us about why the terms of this deal made sense for you.
Well, understanding that Bobby has invested close to $500 million at Activision Blizzard in the infrastructure of the league, we understand that this will probably be difficult in the beginning. Like many other ventures we've started, we always try to think long. But we think this is a solid company, a great company. And we thought this Overwatch is the future. And, you know, we have the sponsorship, marketing, ticketing. We have great analytics through our Kager division. We can do things to work the market beautifully. And the nice thing for us is it has a global reach. We're in 2 other businesses that are basically North American businesses with the NFL and MLS.
So speaking of the future, Bobby, how do you keep the game fresh 10 years from now?
Well, how do you keep football fresh? How do you keep baseball fresh? You know, we have so many tools available at our disposal in keeping this experience fresh for fans and fresh for players. You know, there's the unlimited amount of content that we can release. There's the specialized content that you'll see in the local markets, like the team-based virtual merchandise. You know, and then it's the opportunity for competition itself. And I think when you see the players recognized and our players celebrated and our players become those local role models, that's what will perpetuate this as a, you know, something that is much more akin to a sport.
Bob Kraft, Bloomberg has reported that TV networks, including ESPN, are bracing for a drop in ad revenue based on NFL ratings last season. How do you respond to that?
I didn't hear your question. I'm sorry.
Bloomberg has reported that TV networks are bracing for a drop in ad revenue, including ESPN, based on NFL ratings last season. How do you respond to that?
Well, we're really here to talk about esports, Emily.
No, but I'll do it. You know, I think anyone who looks at last year understands the role that the election had, and look what the 2 news networks, our main news networks, are doing this year. I think after the election was over, the NFL was within 2% of ratings last year. I feel very confident that we're going to have very strong ratings this coming year, and you just wait and see, and remember I told you that.